Alexander Hamilton has been, for me, one of the lesser of the founding fathers of our republic. Washington, Jefferson, Adams, Franklin took front and center on the stage of the Revolution. Now Hamilton has taken front and center on the stage of a musical of all things. He would not be my first choice. He was Secretary of the Treasury, a money man, a numbers guy. He wrote well in the Federalist Papers. He fought well in the Revolution. None of this played a leading role when most of us studied American history. Why then did Lin-Manuel Miranda choose Hamilton for the leading role in a musical? Miranda read a book about him. Miranda is some kind of a genius. He'd already written a successful musical. The book about Hamilton inspired him to write another. As we all know, it's a successful musical, all written by Lin-Manuel Miranda. Story, words, music. That fact alone is impressive. That he did it so well is even more impressive. He did it with tools he was familiar with, that he'd used in the Heights, the rap music of his generation, the music of his Puerto Rican home, the music of Broadway, the love ballad King George sings to his rebellious colonists. He shrewdly picked incidents from Hamilton's life and built dramatic suspense with them, though we already know the outcome. After King George III tells us to turn off our cell phones during his play, Aaron Burr introduces himself as Hamilton's mentor and the man who will kill him. We know where this is going. We see Burr help Hamilton in business and introduce him to politics. Hamilton involves himself with the advocates of independence from Britain. During the Revolution, he becomes Washington's right-hand man. After the war, Washington makes him Secretary of the Treasury. That dull, money-counting office becomes the focus of political battles and backroom deals over Hamilton's plans for the American economy and for the payment of the Revolutionary War debt. He wins those battles. He battles with Jefferson, then sides with him against Burr, and we know where that leads. He marries into the prominent Schuyler family of Philadelphia, has a son whose death foreshadows his own as each takes his shot, in the song's metaphor that applies to all Hamilton's risk-taking life. He has an affair, pays money to keep it quiet, an ongoing Washington tradition. These are all dramatic moments. They're played by actors who look very little like the originals. Most of them are black and Hispanic. Miranda himself played Hamilton on Broadway. The music fits in their mouths. It is theirs. But they also look and sound right in Paul Tazewell's costumes of the period, though I do wonder why the ensemble's basic costumes looked like long underwear. The actors make this combination work, the way actors make any performance work, by always being totally convincing, completely authentic, maintaining the integrity of their character. Even Jefferson, who in the cast here is short, not tall, and walks with a doo-wop bounce right out of the ghetto, is without doubt Hamilton's Thomas Jefferson. Choreographer Andy Blankenbuehler slips breakdance moves into his unusually fresh numbers. David Corin's set doesn't use picturesque colonial architecture. It's worn brick walls, what the inhabitants would face most places in those days. Director Thomas Kail's care with individuals and crowds clarifies a complicated story. It's a glorious American story of an immigrant bastard who becomes a founding father, and it is told in a very American way.
Yes, and it seems to be winning many, many converts to musical theater, and that's a good thing.
That is a good thing. Let's hear some of that music.
Just like my country, I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. We're gonna rise up, time to take a shot. We're gonna rise up, time to take a shot. We're gonna rise up, rise up, time to take a shot. Rise up, rise up, time to take a shot. Rise up.